Hey friends, welcome back. Now we are going to continue our MERN stack series. This is our e-commerce project and we are creating Flipkart clone. Till now we have worked on cart. We can add item to the cart before login and after the login. We have written all the related functionalities, right? In this video we are going to work on place order part. I have created a checkout page and there we can place the orders, right? Basically in this video we are going to mostly work on UIs, or I can also say I'm going to show you the UI what I have created so you can make a copy of it, right? So let's start first with the backend, like what are the APIs are required, and before that let's see how Flipkart works. So this is the Flipkart real website, and here we have 4-step process for the placing order. So it is a 4-step process. The first step is login. So after the login, you can choose a delivery address. You can have multiple address and you can select one of them. Then order summary, you will basically see the total amount and all these things. And then finally payment options, right? So let me start with the login process first. So after the login, you're going to see something like that. On the right side, we have price details, the amount I have added. So I have one item, the cost of the item. So this is a total payable amount. And on the left side, I have 4-step again, right? So the first step is log in and the name of the user. And basically I have used my contact details. And here we have delivery address. So what we can do, we can select one of the existing address, like address. This is the address, some address, and I have 3 address over here. I can also do the edit part. I can edit my existing address, as well as I can over here cancel it. I can choose this address, just I have to say deliver here, then it will immediately jump to the order summary. Or else I can add a new address by clicking on this tab, add new address. So here it will open a new tab with a form like name, contact details, pin code, locality, address, district, state, landmark, phone, home address or workplace address, whatever it is. And then you can do save and deliver here, right? And then the third, once you have selected the address, let's say use one of them, deliver here, and after that you can see the order summary. Order summary is nothing but some your details, the details of the product, whatever you have. You can increase the quantity and you can remove the item, whatever you want. Next, once here it is a confirmation part, like order confirmation email will be sent to this email address. Next you can do the continue. Okay, and then after continue you'll jump to the payment options. So payment options, I have a couple of options like my credit card details too, and there I have net banking, credit debit card details, EMI option, and cash on delivery, right? So these options are available over here, and this is what we are going to work on. So the most important thing over here is the delivery address right now, because we need to add this functionality in our existing clone, right? We don't have this functionality and we don't have address APIs in our backend, so we can create the address and we can fetch the address. So we will start from the backend first. From the backend first. We will create an API to create the address of the user, and then we will fetch the address, right? So this is it, and let's start to the coding part, right? So here this is our existing application, and let me do the login process. So I have made a lot of changes, and here I'm gonna just show you all the changes, right? So you can do the login, and you can see the right now the model is also looking better. Yes, I have worked on it, and I will show you what are the changes. Okay, so let's do the login first. Okay, now let's do login, and you can see I'm a logged in user. I have got my name Rizwan Khan. I also have items. Is it all same, right? Next, go to the cart, and you can see I have items in my cart. I have 4 items, Samsung phone and all these things. And then I have added this new button. As you can see, the place order wasn't added before, right? So this is a newly thing I have added, and I will show you the code so it is easy for you. And you can do the place order and it will jump to a new page, that is checkout page. And this is a UI, right? We have to do a lot of work over here. This is just UI with address options, right? So we have to remove deliver here buttons from all the addresses, because we can select we can select only one, right? We cannot do all of them, so we need to show only one of them. For example, if I will click on this radio button, so deliver here button will show only over here. If I will check this address, then deliver here button will show over here, as well as it will enable a button on the right side, that is the edit button. So this is just a template, and on the right side I will have my price, and here I will have a user name with the user detail. Basically I will have my email address over here, and then yes, I have a add new address. So here I have used my existing material UI input instead of creating the new type of input, right? So it is actually saving a lot of time. So I've used the existing material UI input for the address. So here I can add a new address, or I can also select one of the existing address. So basically the logic is not added yet. So first what we will do, we will work on this address part. If user will not select any one of them, then he has to click on this add new address, and then this form will pop up. Or if he will click on this edit, then again with this existing address details, this form will pop up, right? So here we can save the address details, and the third step is order summary, and the fourth step is payment options. So in that we will work on later, but let's start with the UI part first. So what are the changes? Here you can go with this. So first let's start with the backend part. Here backend source folder, and here we have index.server.js file. Okay, let's start with first controller, right? And here I have, no, not controller. Let's start with the models, and here I have a model address.js, right? So here I have created a schema. As you can see over here, I have a schema address schema, right? So this schema is nothing but the details, user address details, right? So as you can see, the name of the user. So for every address we will have a name, right? So that's a username is one thing, but for address also we are going to keep a name. Just user might have more addresses, and he can also choose or buy products for someone else, right? So there we need to add a different name. That's why address is also required, name of the person, like where we are going to deliver this item, and then the mobile number of the person who is going to receive this product, pin code, right, area pin code. Then we have locality. Just pause the video and you can write it right now. Then we have address. So this is kind of like text area, so it will be like a long address. Then again we have a city, district, town. So basically the city or district, it depends on your country or wherever you are. It can be city, it can be district, it can be town, whatever it is. Next we have a state option. So like again it depends on your country, and this is also required, something which is true. This is basically based on India. And then landmark option, and that is again a type string. And then we have alternate phone number, and this is optional, this is not required. As you can see, required is true in all the cases, but here it is not true. Then we have address type. The enum part is, so options are like home and work, and required is true. So you have to choose either home or your workplace, whatever it is. So address type, right? You can address, you can add a home address, you can add a workplace address, whatever it is. So this is just one children schema, children address schema. And then we have one more schema, that's a user address schema, right? So user address schema is again a user, right? So this is a foreign key. You can see the type is mongoose ID and required true, and the reference is user table. So this user is going to point, this address schema is going to point to the user table, user collection, right? And then we have another field that's address, and this is an array. And in this array we are going to save our address schema. So basically you can simply take everything and you can paste over here, right? Address schema. So just for the more user friendly and readable, I have written like that. So you can do also like that, right? So then we have model, user address, and then user schema. That's it. So this is what I have. You have to create. That's one thing. Now let's go to the controller, and we also have created this address.js controller file, and here we are creating the address, right? So right now we don't have a level of validation over here, but we are just saving the address details. So here we have a request body, and I'm trying to get the payload from the body. I will check address field exists within the payload. If exist, then I will use a find one and update functionality from Mongoose, and I will find the user. If user exists, I will push a address inside the children schema, right? And if user is new or first time he is creating the address, then it will create a particular user with the ID, with this ID, and also create a address schema, address, right, with the address details whatever we have over here. Next we have a new true, so whenever we will create a new address, it will give us back the created address. Absurd is true, which allows us to create, so here absurd is true, which allows us to create a new field if it is not exist. For example, if user is not exist, then it will allows us to create particular address with this user details. Okay, so this is what we have. We'll execute this find one and update function. If error, then we'll return 400 response with the error details. Otherwise we'll return the address, else params address is required, right, if we don't have this address inside the payload, right? Next we have a simple controller function, that's add get address. So here we are simply using the user ID, the customer ID, and we whatever the address, like let's say he has 5 address or 6 address, we'll return all of them. That's it. So okay, you can see in the Postman as well. So here we have this details. The API is API/user/address/create. Okay, I haven't shown you the address API, so you can go, this is controller models routes address.js. Here we have created a new file address.js, and everything like as it is, just a change over here. It's a post request, and the API is user address create, and another one API is get address. We have all the required validation and like middleware check, then controller add address and get address. Here we have a Postman, and here I've tested this code. So this is an API, and this is a user, and this is the address, and this is a create. The body is, as I told you, it will look for a payload, right? We have a payload, then we have a field address, and then we have all the address detail. So the name of the address person, and then mobile number, pin code, locality, address, city, district, landmark, alternate phone number, address type, right? Okay, let's test this code, is it working or not? But before that, let me clear my database. So here I have a user address, right? And I'm going to delete everything from it. So as you can see over here, I have a query result 0, so I have no record in my user address collection, right? Now we are going to fire this API. So here we have all the details, address, and let me change this name over here. Okay, you can keep any name. I can also receive the product, right? So let me send the request, and I have got JWT expired. So obviously I cannot, I need to I need to log in first, so only I can create that record, because it's required authentication. So here API sign in, headers, body. Okay, let's send the request, and I've got my token. Let's copy this token, and now let's go to this part, go to the headers and bearer. Let's remove this, paste over here. Now send the request. So as you can see, the address got created, and we have received the newly created address. And here we have a user, right? So this is the user ID, and I can create multiple address. That's why I have an array over here. This is the first address I have created. I can create more addresses, right? So this is the details of the address which I have created. I can also create a new address. Okay, let's try to create a new one. So instead of Rizwan Khan, this time I'll say Imran Khan, and contact number will be changed over here. Now here we'll say the pin code, whatever it is, you can do, anything is fine. And okay, that's it. So yes, let's do the create. And here you can see I have got a completely new response, that's including my old details as well as my new details, right? So this is what I have just added, Imran Khan, and mobile phone number and pin code, everything is over here, right? So this is how we can use this API to create the address, right? Now let's start working on the front end of our application. Okay, so this is the back end, and let's start with the Flipkart clone source, and the changes you can start with the app.js file, right? So here we have app.js file, and I have added a new route, as you can see over here, that's a /checkout, and I have a checkout page, right? So this page I have created newly, so you have to add this line as well, right? And this is the only change in this file. So yes, you have to import the checkout page and then you have to add checkout page. That's it. Now let's go and let's start. Let's also go to the actions. Okay, actions, and here you can see user actions. Oh, first index user action, yes. And here you can see I have two actions, so you need to do the same things. So, and I'm importing required constants, so user constants. I have created a new constant that is user constant, and you can go to the constants.js file, and here you can see our new user constants. So here we have three different types of constant: get user address request, and add user address request, and based on that we have success and failure response. Just do it same way, right? Next, let's again go back to user action file, and here we can see we have an action get address, and here we are returning the action, and here we are dispatching the request, and we are checking if it is a 200. It means we are doing it for the get address. We are trying to fetch the address, and this is the API for fetch address, right? User a get address, and if it is 200, then we'll simply extract the address. You can go and check in the backend what we are returning over here. It's going to source controller address.js. Here is the get address, and we are returning user address, right? So that's why I've written user address. And let's go back again. So here we are getting the user address, and then we are getting address from the response, and then we are simply adding in our payload and dispatching as a success, else it is going to be a failure with the error response. Catch, we are logging the error. Next, we have another action, and we are not dispatching anything over here, so it's like add address. We can add the address, and here we have a request call. So that's again the API user address create with the payload details which we are getting from the as an argument, and then we are dispatching the request. You add user request, and if it is 201, it means record created successfully, and we'll get the response. And I will add dispatch as well over here, but right now just for the testing leave it as it is. We'll see in the console our request added or not, our address added or not. Okay, then we have over here a failure case, and then here we have log error, right? So this is two action you need to add. That's it in this action file. Go to the index.js file, and here we have added a new line, that's a 6 on line number 6, export asterisk from user action, and that's all in this our action.js file. Okay, now let's go to the components folder and the change in the cart style.css. So if you is there any change? Let me check. The change is we have changed the box shadow, how it looks. So right now it looks it is different. So this is what I have removed. I have removed the border and I have changed the box shadow. So you need to do the same thing. Remove the border and add the box shadow. That's just RGBA 00 and 0.2 with the property important. Okay, then we have card header, that is same. Okay, let's close this and let's go to the style.css. So this is the change you need to do, and index.js we don't have any change. Material UI we have change over here. So let's go to the index.js file, and the change is not bigger, it's just a width change. Let's go. So here you can see from the top, so everything is as it is except the change is in it was 90%, now it is 100% width, and that's it. Okay, cool. Next we have change in our style.css. So yes, we have change over here, and you can see over here. So the change is material input. With this CSS class you need to change your width from 90% to 100%. Also you need to add a minimum width of 300 pixel in your style sheet. Next, yes, that's it. That's the only change in this file. Yes, okay, that's fine. Let's close this. And that's a material UI change. Header.index.js file, here we have change as well, and I don't remember. So let's go do the get, and yes, the changes. So here we have change. We have added this auth.authenticate. Seriously, Okay, there is no change at all, it's just same thing. Why it is highlighting then? Authenticate. I don't know, there is no change, it's the same from both sides. Okay, then again what we have, okay, here we have added a wrapper, so that's a div. Initially it was just a div with a class name right space, and inside this div we were having this material input, right? We have all the inputs. Now what we have done, here we have added a wrapper, that's a div with the class name login input container, and obviously I have added this class in our style sheet. And here we have added this style as well, text align center. That's why you are seeing the change in the model, right? The model is looking better right now compared to the last one. And then again we have material and everything like as it is, so you just need to do this change. Okay, let me show you again. So the change is over here. So here we have added this div input login input container, and we have added this p style text line center, right? And we also have this login input container in our style sheet, so that's here login input container. You have to add this. That's it in our header change. Material UI is done, and you can also find all of this code in my repository. You can pull and you can clone from the repository, and you know where it is, right? Now let's go to the reducer, and here we have index.js file. The change is we have created a user reducer, and this is on line 5 we are importing it, and on line 13 we are adding it. Next we have user.reducer.js, and we have created this new file. Okay, so we have initial state with the address empty array. Obviously we need to have multiple address, that's why it is an array, and we'll iterate through the address and we'll display all the address, so user can check one of the address and click on the button deliver here, right? And here we have our default function, that's a reducer function, and we have all the required case, right? So that's a get user address request, success, and then we have a failure part, and we haven't added anything for the create address, and we have to add it, right? So this is change in our reducer file. Okay, okay, cool. App.css, here we have these changes. If you want, you can add it, right? And I think you know it. We have this flex raw from the last video as well. And SB we have added, so SB means space between, so we can add directly this class. And app.js, right? Here we don't, yeah, it's a checkout page, that's it. Now the important, let's go to the main thing, containers, and here we have our page and all the changes. So in the cart item, as you can see, we have added a button, that is a placeholder button. So you can see over here the button placeholder. So we have a card over here, right? And here you can see we have added a material input button, right? And next thing, the difference is we have added a style as well. You can see overflow hidden 100% and 400 pixels. So these are the small changes. You can also try by yourself. It's just, I just want to make it look good. That's why I've added these small things. Okay, next we have a bigger change over here, so that's nothing but I think that's a button, right? So material button, and I have already added all this style over here. That's looking bad actually. So here we have a material button, that's a change, and here we have an on click function. And another thing we have changed this width to 380 pixel. Obviously if there is a change, it means we have change in our style sheet as well. So where is it? So our style should change. Okay, yep, style should change is this is only we have added this, we have changed this margin 15 pixel auto, and as I told you, it's just small changes, even you can do it. Okay, so this is justify content space between, that's it. Now close this and back to our file. So here we have index.js file. And now let's talk about the main thing, right? So this is the only big thing, that was all small changes and you are very familiar with it, right? So here we have our material button, and we have a title, that's a place order, and then we have an on click function, and it will on click of this button place order will make user navigate to the checkout page, as you can see over here. So let's go to the cart page first. And here you can see we have a place order button, right? So that's the same button, place order, and if you click on it, it is going to navigate to this file, right? And as you can see, I'm getting my the address what I have created with the help of API. I'm getting it because I have added this address as well. You have already seen it in the reducer, right? So yes. Next, the change. So here we have material button, right? And yes, that's all in the cart change. Now the new completely new file is checkout page. So this is a completely new file, and here we have a file index.js. Let me explain everything, right? So here we have all the import statements and material button, material input, card, and we have created our address form. I will talk about it, just wait. So yes, you don't need to see it right now. The main thing is over here, checkout page. So this is our page, and this is what we are exporting out. As you can see over here, export default checkout page, right? So let's talk about this. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm getting the user from the reducer, and I am adding a dispatch. I'm creating a variable dispatch so I can dispatch my action, right? I have a arrow function, empty arrow function, and then use effect. So when this component will load after the render, it will execute this callback function, and it will call this get address. And that get address you can see coming from the actions. Okay, now let's talk about the layout. So here, like usually we have our layout, and here you can see we have a checkout component, right? So actually the checkout step, it is a 4-step process, as I told you. So every step will check something, and as you can see the comment over here, check if user logged in or not. So this checkout step is a component, and I have this component over here only. I haven't created a new file for this. Okay, this is a part of it, right? So this is a checkout component, and this is just a div with the class checkout step and couple of CSS. Here we have a class name, checkout header, and that's a checkout header. And here if you get active, if you'll pass active true, it will be active class, otherwise it is not going to add active class. And then step number, like which is step 1, 2, props title, and then props body. So let me show you over here. As you can see, this is the header, right? This is the step number 1, and this is the title login, and this is the body. So here we have the body, right? Let me show you. So here we have a checkout step. Step number is 1, and title is login, active is false. If you make this active true, you can do this true like this, and you're gonna see the change over here. Yeah, the UI completely changed. So this is login and the step 1, and this is the username, right? So yes, you can do like this. You'll make it false again, save it, and as I'm already a logged in user, so as I'm already a logged in user, I can show my name over here, and I'm gonna do that. So here we have username. Let's remove this, and I will say, okay, I need to get the auth as well. Here we'll say, sorry, here, right? Say auth dot full name, and I'm not getting the name. Let's go and inspect the Redux. So here we have our Redux, and I'm gonna check it. So let's go to the full state and auth, and here we have a token. Okay, we have a user, and inside the user we have a full name, right? So yes, that was a mistake. So here we'll say auth dot user dot full name instead of just full name. Next we are going to have an email address, right? Sorry, and here we'll say auth dot user dot email. We are not using the contact details, right? So that's a different thing and completely different topic as well. So here we have full name and email. Now let's go and check your page. So as you can see, I'm getting my name Rizwan Khan and the email address which I'm using for this page, right? For this account actually. And here I'm getting the address, right? So let me explain you the address part. So here you can go and check this, the second step, right? Check out step. And here we have a step number 2, and the title is delivery address and active is false. So here what I can do, here you can see the active is false. So I will say auth dot authenticate, right? And authenticate, if it is true, then is whatever it is, just auth dot authenticate is true, then it will be true. Auth dot authenticate is false, then it will be false, right? Based on that it will show the reply. And you can see right now it is getting a blue one. And okay, this is not the requirement, so once it is done, I have to do the reverse process actually. Yes. So here what we are doing, we are already completed the step 1. That's why we are not highlighting this part, but we are in our second step, like delivery address. So we need to highlight this part because we haven't selected anything, right? So here what we can do, here we have a false and we can make it true. So it will be like delivery address, and yep. So the second step, delivery address, and I'm getting my address details, so I can check one of them and I can make user to return, right? Next we have a form, and it shouldn't be show over here. So yes, we have to work on it a lot. And here we have edit option. So let me help you to understand this checkout step. So here the delivery address, and then we have a body, right? Inside the body we are getting the user address, and it's because we already have the address in our reducer, right? So you can go user address and you can see the address over here, array. And if we will get the address successfully, we'll update the state with the address details. And how we are doing it, if you go to the index.js file, and you can see over here I'm using a use effect, and this will call after the rendering process. And here we are dispatching this action get address, and it will populate our address, right? And then we can get the address. So what I'm doing over here, so I'm using that existing address whatever we have currently. So here I've given the empty array. So just the check, like we don't need to do this at all, right? We can simply, because address is somehow is an array, right? Either it will be empty or with the data. So here we'll do this address map address, and this is our div component where we have all the details, like we have the address, the name of the person, we have the type of address. As you can see over here, the name is Rizwan Khan, type is home, okay? And you can see the contact details. So this is the contact details what we have added, and obviously this is not design, we'll do later. And then we have address, the full address, the long address. So here we have some Rahmatnagar no 4 183 PO Bantu Asansol West Bengal or whatever it is. And then we have a button, that's a material button, 250, right? We can hide this button because we don't want to show, right? Next we have edit option. Yes, it is going to be a button, not just text. So that's how we are iterating through the address, and we are displaying over here. Next, the important thing you need to understand, the address form, right? So this is a full component, and everything is inside this address form for related to address submit details, right? Save, and let's go to the address form. So here we have this address form component, and yes, this is address form component, and we have lots of state variables like name, mobile number, pin code, locality, address, city, district, town, state. So whatever we have on our schema, same thing we have landmark, alternate phone number, address type, dispatch. Then we have a basic style input container in the JavaScript itself, and here we have on submit the button, that's okay. Next we have this return, this is what we are returning. So this is again a step, part of the step, right? And we have some CSS class and all. Step number is just plus, it is not a number. As you can see, the plus we are getting over here, right? And yes, that's a plus, and the title is add new address. And here we have styling, and we have a flex row class, and then we have material input, right? So we have used this material input for the name of the like address owner, right? So here we have on change function, we are doing set name like this, one name, we have mobile number, we have pin code, we have locality, we have address, we have city, district, town, we have what is this, state, then we have landmark, alternate phone number, address type, home, and work. So this is on click function, you need to notice over here, right? This is on click. So on click of it, we are just simply doing the set address type home. On click of this, we are doing the set address type work, right? Next we have a material button, and on click of this button, we are executing this on address submit button, which is over here. Okay, that's the on address submit button. And here we have our payload, right? So we are creating the payload with the address, name, mobile number, pin code and everything. And then finally we are dispatching with the payload, right? And you already know about the action. I have already shown you over here. So you can see over here, that's we have add address action, and we are calling this API to create the address. So let's execute this code as well. Save this. And yes, so here I will add a new address. So that's 10 digit mobile number. I'm just typing a random number, so don't try to call. Okay, it should be 10, right? Okay, next we have a pin code, locality, then we have address, then we have city, district, town, city, Hyderabad, state, Telangana, landmark, and then we have alternate phone number. That's optional, right? Landmark and phone number optional. Now you select address type. So let's select home, and just for the check, because we are not gonna see any change over here because this is a call in background. And yes, so you can see that we have dispatch and action, add user address request, and then we have got the response because we are doing the console. And here we have address. Yeah, this is what we have created, and now we have 3 different address, right? So this is what we have added previous time. Now we have new address. Okay, so as you can see the name over here, Faizan Khan, right? Now so we have to reload this page to get that address update over here. So let's reload this page, and you can see we have a newly created address, home of Faizan Khan, and this is a home, and this is the contact details, this is the long address, and deliver here. So in the next video we will work on this deliver here part. Once we'll select the deliver here, then order summary will enable, or if we do not select anything, then we'll do this. If you click on this plus button, then add new address form will pop up, and then we'll fill this form and we'll save the address, and we'll get the change over here, and then we are ready to for the confirm order, and then we can do the payment option. So guys, this is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And also, if you want to contact me for any reason, if you have doubts or if you're getting error, anything, the first priority is comment on the YouTube section. So it will also help my channel to improve. Next thing, what you can do, if you want to follow me on Instagram, here. So this is my ID, RIIZZWANN. RIIZZWANN. This is my Instagram ID. You can follow me over here, and I don't create posts on Instagram, but even this Instagram is useful for messaging, right? Also you can ping me over the LinkedIn. So this is the address, Rizwan Khan 2, right? So you can also come over here and you can ping me in my LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so but in both the platforms I don't create posts, but still you can follow me and you can ping me for your queries. Okay, so this is the LinkedIn, and you are familiar with the YouTube, right? You're watching on it, and that's it. This is it. Also, if you have if you want to show, like with this platform Instagram and LinkedIn, you cannot show a visualized code, right? For that we have a web script platform, and here you can create post with the code related details. You can highlight the code and you can ask your query whatever the details, and you can share the link either in Instagram or LinkedIn. That's it. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye. And also you can github.com Rizwan 17, right? And you can also come over here And here's my all the repositories. So if you want to check for Flipkart clone, that you can find over here, repositories. So if you're coming over here, also don't forget to give me a star. So that's Flipkart clone, right? So right now over here is 3-star only, so you can give a star and you can pull this repository as well if you want. If you have any doubt, I will push the code of front end as well as back end this time finally. Thank you.